Welcome back. It's time for another book talk video. It's Wednesday and I'm doing a bonus book talk. Today, Hellbound Books reached out to me and offered me a free ebook copy of ReINcarnate by Patrick Querney if I would give an honest review of the book. I was happy to read this book. I just finished it over the weekend. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give the book 4 out of 5 stars, even though I found a few typos in it. But most of the typos were just a missing word in the sentence, that kind of thing. It was easy for me to figure out what the sentence was supposed to be, what the missing word was, so it was not a big deal. But I'm giving it the 4 out of 5 stars because of the great creativity of this book. I was really impressed by the story and the idea of it. In fact, I was so inspired that I spent the last few days rethinking books that I've read that involved reincarnation, and I went ahead and did book reviews on a couple of those. I talked about R.A. Salvatore's book, The Companions, which was a fantasy novel that had characters who were reincarnated, where they got to keep their memories, but they lived a new life with a new family and a new situation. I also talked about the science fiction book Old Man's War, which was written by John Scalzi, in which when people turn 75 years old, they have the choice to join the space military, and they scan their brains and they create a new clone body for them that's 25 years old that they get to live in, so that they get a new life basically in the military out in space. Exciting concept. Here is by Patrick Querney, and I'm pretty sure it's the author's first book. It's a debut novel called ReIncarnate. I think it's great as a debut novel, and I love the reincarnation concept. This time it's being applied to a horror setting. The main character, Syl, wants to be a serial killer, and he has found some way to study some sort of dark magic, cult-like rituals, some chanting that allows him to swap bodies. The concept does remind me a little bit of the film Chucky, with the doll, where you've got the cultist in his dying moment who manages to put his soul into a doll. But here you have a human being who is tired of his life and wants to be a serial killer, and so he finds a way to allow his spirit to go out and drift into a new body. And one of the reasons that I love the creativity of the book is the first body that he manages to take control of is a cat. Not another human, it's a cat. And to me, it was really fun to see how a person with a human's mindset would live the life of a cat for about a week or so as he went around being a cat. And then of course he moves on from the cat. And it seems from the cat he's trying to find a more weak-minded person to take over. He goes from the cat into an old man, from the old man into a young boy, eventually getting into the body of a wealthy person. So in a sense, I know this is a horror novel and focused on a serial killer, and you've got that aspect of it. But it also seems like social commentary to me of in real life with the birth lottery, so to speak of, philosophically. We don't get to choose what body we're born into. We don't get to choose whether we arrive in a poor family, middle class family, or rich family. So the idea that through reincarnation or through magic that a character can choose to take over a rich body is really interesting, and provides that sense of what would the character do. Though this character, of course, is a selfish, lustful killer, and he's lazy. It's amazing how quickly he just dumps the guy's actual girlfriend and quits his job and just goes about spending his money. Of course, this character also is not a genius. He's not that brilliant when it comes to committing the crimes, so eventually the police are catching on clues. In fact, the character wants to leave a calling card. As a serial killer, he starts stuffing dollar bills in people's mouths or putting dollar bills posted near the crime scenes so the cops will connect them together, though I suppose in the hope that he can just keep jumping from body to body. You could almost think of the story as, what if Quantum Leap was a story of a serial killer? As horrifying as that sounds. To me, it's a fun horror story. It's an interesting concept. It was delivered in a creative sort of way, which is why I enjoyed it. I'm willing to overlook some of the flaws of a debut author with a few typos. That's my book talk for today. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.